All right, all right, all right. We are live 9 a.m. Saturdays. We've been doing 9 a.m. Saturdays for a while now. So we didn't put an event up. So we just wanted to see if you guys are paying attention and see the trend. And if you're not, you can go hashtag replay. And if you're here and you pop in through this process, you are going to do hashtag live or drop a hashtag GSD. We like GSD over here, just like that sign says, get shit done. Anyways, Ben and I were just wrapping it out earlier about setting and calendars, because that's one of the things that comes up on a lot of the calls that we have with agency owners like you guys out there in the world, or coaches, consultants, is I just need more leads. I just need more traffic. I just. So we're going to talk about a couple things about quantity versus quality, and how that impacts your calendars, because we want to have a combination of both, tell you the truth. Now, with Ben, he's more of a quality guy in the sense that he may not get a ton of booked appointments every single day, but the people that do end up booking, um, they end up being a little bit higher quality because he takes the triage process a little deeper. One of the things that people are trying to do on a triage process is they're focusing against the clock. They're trying to say, like, how quickly should this call be? And as we want it, like 10 minutes qualified. I mean, Ben, just looking in and listening to your call recordings, they're going, sometimes they're 10 if they're more familiar with us, but then some of them are going like 20 minutes deep. But then they're like, they don't know us as much, but then they're also, you ask more questions so you can actually dig the pain to see if it even makes sense for them to consider changing what they just said they want to change. So any kind of thoughts on the quality versus quantity from your end?
Yeah, and I also have like a bad habit of letting people ramble on too much a little bit sometimes too. So I know that's something that is a goal of mine, is working on, tactfully and peacefully interrupting, them as well. But it also gives me, when they throw up on me, it gives me a lot more ammo too. So just being really aware in the conversation and making sure that I'm paying attention to what they're telling me. And so sometimes that's why those conversations do go up a little bit higher. But um, well, I guess what were you
The
asking?
quantity versus quality. So Ben kind of takes these conversations a little bit longer in the calls, so he gets a little deeper. And then one of the processes, like if you join the inner circle, we can go deeper into this, is like how we do our live transfer process, how we do that knowledge dump, how we tee it up for the person who's going to take the sales call to make it like a lot more like of a natural transition. There's no like, oh, I thought it was this, I thought it was that. It's just like we're all on the same page at the exact same time, and we're all agreeing right then and there. So we have that process of what we do. And that's a game changer in its own right, because a lot of drop off happens from call one to call two, because you'll have no shows is one opportunity. Number two, they don't remember the first call. You have to restart, and then you ultimately have a second triage call or a second discovery call, and then you're kind of like convincing versus helping. And that's not where we want to be. And that's what we've eliminated on the process that Ben and I use together. But then on the other hand, we have volume, like where we get high volume and we don't know what kind of quality it's always going to be. So it's kind of like we get the higher, like our calendars booked faster, keep our team like active on the sales side and the triage side. But the quality is not there. The sales calls have to go a little bit longer. And it may turn into a two-step process. So there's kind of the tale of two tapes, and both are right. Neither one are wrong. It's just a matter of we want to get as many book calls as possible, and then we kind of layer in more and more questions as we see bottlenecks. So we're constantly changing a couple things as we go, and then we share it with everybody inside the inner circle. And then over here, we just want you guys to be aware, because it's normal if you aren't getting the volume you have, that can be fixed. If you aren't closing at the rate you want to be closing out, that can also be learned and fixed. And there's a couple of tips I want to leave you guys with too, so it's not just a circle jerk of information here. Now, a couple of the ways we're like, some of the posts you saw even last night, if you didn't see my post on my personal profile last night, don't go copying and pasting other people's shit. Like, make it your own. If you're gonna do that, at least have some creativity and make sure that you can fulfill on it. So some of the things anybody can do, I don't care what the fuck you do. If you're an agency, a coach, a consultant, a local business, don't really care. Come up with something that you can fulfill that has high value. Like if you're an agency or a coach, like a lead magnet, like how I got my last client. That's believable. Here's a step-by-step like checklist of how it can be duplicated for you. That's easy. If you're a restaurant owner, get a free samosa when you buy any entree. I mean, that's 50-cent fucking cost of a samosa, if that, for potatoes that go in some friggin' oil. May cost some health, but people like samosas, right? If you like Indian food. So like give that shit away for 50 cents. Then that ticket order is going to be $15-20. I mean, and all you did was buy the customer for 50 fucking cents, and you probably got a name, email, and phone number. And if you're smart with marketing and you market well for your local businesses, guess what? That 50 cents is now going to be worth like $300-400 over a 12-month period. So use intelligent like offers that Cody talks about. We talk about that scary offer, because that's going to be one piece of it. The scary offer gives you people to raise their hand in curiosity. The rest is up to a whole systematic process, like whether you're using Messenger, text messages, phone calls, emails, all of those things combined. Because like when we get those leads, like when I post something on those leads, what happens is Ben comments, Jacob comments, Jose comments. And when people come in, we're calling them, we're messaging them, we're doing our due diligence to follow up, because the next logical step, if somebody wants something from you, from your coaching business, and they say me, delivery is one logical step. A conversation is the next logical step. Getting on the phone is the next logical step. Doing business is the next logical step. So when we're looking in the steps, it all makes sense. We're just increasing intimacy, and we're also getting one degree of trust closer and closer and closer. But most importantly, we're building our own database, because as that database builds, when we have days where Facebook could go down for like 6 hours and the world freaks out that they lost all their leads and their profiles down and the whole world's is up down at the same time, we don't really have to worry. We have your whole database to call, to follow up. We have Instagram, if Instagram's down and WhatsApp are down, the whole system's down. Then we got YouTube, then we got Google, and those are other ways where we can get clients. But if you have your own database and your own clients that are paying you, you have all those conversations that you don't even need these social media platforms anymore at all if you're doing it right, because we just got to prepare that a new platform is going to come out and we have to start over. And people will leave Facebook, people will go back to Twitter. So it's just a matter of like, once you own the data, that's the most important part. Then your setting and sales process is going to be totally bulletproof. That's my take on it. I mean, we're using these platforms to mine and create our own database, because right now you're just renting it, you're leasing it, you're borrowing it. But it's a beautiful thing, because we would never have that opportunity for free using these platforms. So that's how we're using the setting process from the organic level. We have our paid ads running as well. We have our database that we're mining as well. And it all has a different little tweak in the process. Like ads is different than organic. Organic is different than our database. So it kind of like goes through, like we have a different entry point of how we plan things, just because the nature of the relationship is going to be assumed to be a little different until we get a hold of the customer or the future customer we're about to have. Anything you want, any words of wisdom you want to add? Because we're going to keep today a little bit short. That's why we didn't share the link to bring people on. But any tips, like let's say somebody's struggling they don't have a team, it's just them by themselves, they want to grow it. Aside from signing up for the GSD, by the way, if you guys do want help and you do want to grow at a much faster pace and you have a roadmap and figuring it out is just too unpredictable for you, don't feel shy to reach out. I'll drop my profile link in there and you can just DM me while Ben kind of gives some tips. If it's just say it's a solo, it's one person, they're the salesperson, they're the coach or the marketer, and they got to do both roles, set and do the sales calls.
Good. I mean, staying organized is going to be the best too. So I think being able to have a process in place, making sure that you have that process in place to be able to stay organized and to stay on top of your leads, and making sure that we don't leak leads, right? That's something that Rahul kind of beats into us, is like, don't leak anything. There should be no, because you don't know what that one is. And sometimes it's like, another advice going into not leaking leads is, real time is the only time, I think, is what Rahul always says, is making sure that the responses, that's most important, especially if you're alone too, because you don't know when you're going to get the opportunity to swing the bat again. Kind of like, pinch hitters in the playoffs right now, right? It's like they only get that one opportunity and they don't know if they're ever going to get that opportunity again. You have to deliver in that spot. So to use a little Dodger baseball analogy there, But it's the same thing with sales too. It's like you don't know when you're going to get that opportunity to speak to that person or when they're going to be live again. So if you're on your own and opportunities, the at bats are not maybe as abundant because you have, you're on your own, or you're kind of trying to make this a side hustle, or this is a side hustle, trying to make it your main gig. Making sure that you're responding to people in real time, number one. And number two, there's nothing like, I always get asked this question, like, oh, how many times do you follow up with leads, or how many times do you contact them, or how many times, after ghost? And I said, there's no, there never is a set amount of like, oh, one time a day or 3 times a week or 10 times, right? There's no number. It's like whatever you feel is right, just go for it. And there's no amount of like, I can show there's tons of conversations to where I've sent 10 messages and I haven't gotten one response, and that 11th message finally resonated with them and they responded. I've called 4 times, I've sent 17 messages. Or someone like Jose will put in, one of our guys on our team, he'll call 10 times and he'll put 10th call, 9th call, 8th calls, he'll put it all. And then finally, like, next thing you know, I look at the calendar and I say, hey, this guy booked. I look at the notes and I noticed that Jose called 11 times. He didn't book it, but somehow they went in and booked an appointment on their own, right? So they probably saw our message. They saw something from us. And I still give credit to like Jose, because that's someone that guy, he called 11 times, and although he might not have booked it. So my point, what I'm getting at is that you never know where it's going to come from, right? So continue to stay on, making sure that your follow up there until they don't buy from you or they tell you to literally F off. There's no number. So you're on your own, stay organized, making sure you're responding in real time, and keep on people, right? Don't there's no set number of like, oh, I feel like I'm bugging them or I'm annoying them, or what's the correct, it's like, I don't know, they say it's 13 touch points, right? Until you finally get a hold of someone, if you don't get a hold of them within that first 5 minutes or 10 minutes of whatever it is they responded to you for. So keep that in mind. 13 is the average, right? That's average. So if you're not at 13 touch points yet and you're like, well, why are these guys not responding? Well, until you're not at 13 or even higher, then keep going until they buy, or until they tell you to F off, I'm never going to buy from you again. So organization, real time is the only time, and keep following up. So those are my 3 pointers.
Cool. Yeah. So real time is important. So like, and also time blocking too. Like if you're a solo and you're doing it on your own, I would time block. Like the first thing you can do and wake up is like, if you have some responses in your messenger, keep a database like highly organized with tags and stuff. Like if you need help with setting up the database, and you don't already have a CRM, if you use our high level affiliate link, then we'll give you some tools that will already get you ahead and do it the way we do it. But if you already have high level, then you can join the GSD Inner Circle program. I dropped my link, my profile. You can reach out there. You'll be talking to me or Ben. Both of us get it, so we can help you there. But anyways, I would go through the follow-ups, like time block. Go through your first follow-ups of people you've talked to. Go to the next level, which is going to be, well, follow-ups include empty messages that haven't been attended to from the night before, and then also any kind of conversations you've already had that are closer to signing up with you. Then any contracts out would be included in those follow-ups. So you kind of take the most important stuff that you have available earlier in the day, so you have an opportunity to kind of circle back to it in the after lunch. Then you're going to be looking at any phone calls that you can make that you already have. So we want to stay as like, we're going to go like from hottest to coldest through the day. Not try to always get fresh new kind of people, because don't want to leak the leads that we already worked and already had calls with and spent that 20-minute first call, 1 hour second call, and still didn't get them as a client. Stay on top of those, because they can't all of a sudden have a problem and then all of a sudden not have a fucking problem. So if they need to think about it, I heard this from Bill Walsh yesterday. Like, I mean, people are in fucking quicksand, and you're walking up to them and you say, here's my arm, take my hand. And they say they have like 3 minutes to fucking live. They're not gonna say, hey, you know what, let me think about it. But when their business is in quicksand and you give them your hand, you say, take my hand. And then they're gonna say, let me think about it. That doesn't make sense. Their business is in quicksand. They're about to die. And if they don't die, they're just going to live a long, tenacious, painful year, 2 years, 3 years, and it doesn't have to be that way. So think about that when your clients are reaching out to you. If they have a problem and you have the solution and they're not going with you, Just get better at communication, maybe some analogies, maybe ask them better questions, maybe learn that process to begin with. But that's what the whole setter process is all about. It's not to get just 100 book calls on a calendar. I know that's a round number that we use. A lot of other coaches use that too, as a number, as a hook, as a curiosity, as an offer, scary offer. But in the end, it comes down to, what are we going to do with, now that we got that problem solved, we get a way to get people on our books, on our calendars, then we have to take care of that next level. So every level we're going to face a new devil, right? And that's a good thing. But we just have to be focused to solve one thing at a time so that we can get better at all of the things together. Because I see a lot of agency owners wanting to start at like building their product and building their widgets and software and SaaS and all these fucking things. But the reality is nobody wants to buy your shit anyways. So why not be good at the offer and understand your niche really well? Get the traffic, book the appointments, present the offer. And if people are buying it, if you're new, of course, not if you're a veteran, this could apply to you if you're a veteran, but if you're newer, under a year, under 10K, I would classify as newer, or under 10K, we can just go with, because it's no reason to be there. We can easily grow past that. I would just sell it before it exists and then just build it once people buy it. That's what every big company has ever done. Look at what Apple does. How do you think they raise money? Not just public. They raise money from you guys, us, me. I have an Apple phone, but they're going to pre-sell you the next model before it even exists, because what they're doing is raising money to pay for all this stuff, make profit before they even have the product fully ready to launch, because they may have not made the containers, the boxes, delays in China, whatever it may be, wherever it's being made. But think of that for a second. We just got to do things before we're ready to be ready for when we want to be ready. So it's that perspective. If we want to have the perspective of making 6 figures in a month and we're making 5 figures, if we make decisions as a 5-figure business owner, we won't be able to grow above that. But if we make the decisions $100,000 a month business owner makes, then we're going to get our business will follow. We'll make those decisions outside of our container because of our perspectives here. We can't think past this. But if we open our perspective above, then we're actually already destined to make it happen, because we're going to make the decisions to make it happen. We're more committed. But if we're always thinking, oh, I'll get there when I can figure it out, probably not going to happen. Just history repeats itself. And plus, we're not cavemen. We don't have to guess and figure it out. We have like people to help us a lot more now. So that's kind of it. We got 2 more minutes before Ben's got to bounce and I got to bounce for the day. So any kind of cool highlights that you had from the setting process, whether it was like a fun conversation or a client that you're most proud of that got enrolled into one of our systems this week? I think you might be muted. Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had some really good qualifying conversations to where completely cold in actually in Messenger, and we didn't even book a triage, qualify them enough in Messenger to where we booked them straight to a sales call and they close. Right. So like in a perfect world, like that's awesome. Right. We didn't waste any time, qualify them enough. I don't, that way we're not wasting our time. We're not wasting their time, because sometimes some of the prospects are like, oh, I was under the impression that this was a sales call. And if it's a triage, because you've already done, well enough in whether it be text message, whether it be Messenger, whether it be LinkedIn, right? Sometimes you got to be able to differentiate, saying, hey, do I want to waste this prospect's time with the triage, or do I know enough now here to be able to go straight to a sales call? So I always ask myself, for me, it's, do I have a pain? So do I know enough of a pain? Do I have an idea of what their goals are? Yes. And do I know what their current situation is? So where they want to be, where they're at right now, and what their pain is. And as long as I kind of have that through a Messenger conversation without them, without it being too long or dragged out or them being annoyed, then I know, okay, at that point, this is going straight to sales call. There's no point for me to get onto a triage. So I think we had 2 of those this week, to where it was 100% Messenger and no triage and straight to a sales call, and boom, close. So I think I'm pretty proud of that. Now,
today was perfect. This was a good week for Ben. Even a good Friday, even. I think we had like 2 or 3 just on Friday come through.
They were warmed out throughout the week, right? It wasn't like they were warmed up throughout the week, right? It wasn't the fruits of our labor, just they blossomed on Friday. It wasn't magically just popped up on in one day.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Like, so yeah, it doesn't just happen just out of thin air. So like we have a full process behind it. I mean, sometimes we do selfie videos and get a little bit more advanced, and sometimes it's audio messages, because at the end of the day, we understand the buyers. They want to buy, but they don't want to be screwed over. They want to have certainty that what it is you offer, what it is we offer, is certain to help them, and we do our best to help them make that decision. Because having the right information, like having me, Cody, Ben, and the team on your side, is guaranteed to work. We already know that because we do this every day for so many other people. But then people on the other side that don't know that already, or they see the stories and they say like, well, I know that that person gets it. They have something deep rooted inside of them that's holding them back. So it's kind of like fear and uncertainty, right? Will I make my money back? I mean, the choice, we look at it is, where are you going to give you the formula? Like if you're in the Amazon jungle and we're your tour guides, you're going to survive and get to a picnic lunch, and we're going to helicopter out of there and have the greatest day of our lives. But if you jump in it all by yourself, good luck like identifying which king cobra is going to eat you, a lion, a bear, or something is going to attack you, because you don't know how to get out. Plus there's no lunch and helicopter, right? So we already know that from our end. So now the flip side of the coin is on the person that you serve for your client, your local business. And even Marco mentioned last week on our 100K challenge. And if you want that, by the way, we have that available still. The 100K challenge, like he was asking people about the objections that they face, like, oh, money objection, wife objection, think about it objection. And a lot of people had those objections. And what did he say about that? Do you remember that, Ben? What did Marco say? Did you just give me a peace sign to like, I gotta go? Or
Yeah, like I'm running late.
okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can't.
well, I know this. We will end with this, but yeah, Marco mentioned the objections that we're facing are the ones that we're giving. The objections we're facing, the ones that we're giving. So I'm going to end it with that. If you guys need any help, hit us up in the GSD. You got my profile. You can just DM me there. Just GM me GSD info, and we'll get that over. Excuse me, we'll get that over to you. Peace out. Happy Saturday.